Hi guys, so this is game 2 of my series playing online ranked matches against an LSU opponent. Initially I thought that this was going to be the same opponent that I played against in game 1, but I only realized later that this is a different LSU opponent. It just happened coincidentally that I got to play 2 LSU players in a row online. And like I mentioned in my first video, both of these players did not have LSU selected initially, but they changed to LSU after they saw that I was using USC. And here we go. A very nice first down pass by my opponent. And this guy, as opposed to the previous player, tend to go more into the 4 wide setup. Whereas the previous player, I think, had a much more balanced offense. This guy was much more pass prone, kind of like myself. And here he goes into a 4 wide formation that's very similar to what I always do, but he goes with a run instead of a pass. But it seems like he likes this trips 4 wide formation. He gets his second first down. Going to that same pass, I think to Russell Shepard. And I think he does a good job of mixing in the draws with the 4 wide passes. So that's something that I can definitely do more in my own game, and this opponent does it well here. Luckily, I was able to almost sack him there, but he got the ball out just in time. It bounced off harmlessly off one of my players. And I didn't really have a chance to pick it up. So now 3rd and 6. He throws out to the flat, probably not a good idea, and ends up 4th and 6. But he decides to go for it since he's in the intermediate range between a field goal and a punt. And he's in the 4 wide again, drops back to pass, and Mettenberg throws a pick. And Harris was able to pick it off in very tight close quarters. So I get the ball to start the first half now, and I throw a pick right back to my opponent. Just a terrible decision. Should not have went to that player, especially since I was double covered. But wow, I give the ball right back to the player, to my opponent, and here he goes for a deep pass, and that's picked off. And I think it's similar to what happened in the first game. I was able to cover the deep passes pretty well. But unfortunately, I have to start on my own 3-yard line now. And luckily, I was able to get Robert Woods on a slant, which was huge to get out of my own end zone. Now I have a little bit of breathing room. And I hit Blackwell across the middle. Nice job hanging on to the ball for 8 yards. So now 2nd and 2. I motion Blackwell a little bit, which puts him near the pocket, and he becomes a pass blocker. And I think that's one thing that I should definitely do more often in the future, now that I'm looking at the tape, is that if I get another blocker into the pocket, I get more time to throw the ball. Such as deep balls like this one. But somehow he was able to pick it off. I thought Marcus Lee had some separation, but I guess I didn't do well enough with the stick. And I did not lead the receiver far enough to the right, and they were able to pick it off. So already my second pick of the game, and we're still in the first quarter. So this is looking very much like the first game. And here, nice play by my opponent to bounce off 2 tacklers and to get it past midfield. Nice run here. So now 2nd and 1 coming up. And he throws it out to the flat again, but this time he gets a first down. Very nice run. Another deep pass, and ooh, very, very close. I thought for a second that he was in, but I guess the computer said his receiver was out. So very lucky for me right there, but either way, my opponent is knocking on the door again. And he gets a nice 5-yard completion there. The only good news is I think he got the ball to start the half. So I feel a little bit better in the sense that I'll get the ball to start the second half. A great catch there. This is probably one of those practice passes against the 2-man under, and he executed very well. A very nice draw again. And I didn't pick up on this very well during the actual game. It's only now that I'm reviewing the tape that I realize that he has some very nice draws. Here I was able to stuff him, so now it brings up a critical 3rd and 6. And he's basically very close to the red zone again. And it's intercepted again, the 3rd time. And I wasn't sure what happened there. I think the momentum carried the guy into the end zone, and he came out automatically. And I didn't want to go back in and risk a safety. So I had to start out from my 3-yard line again for the 2nd time. And wow, I missed the slant there. It's now 2nd and 10. I'm trying a white play, as you guys can see. And oh man, for some reason the first guy was jammed by the honey badger, and because of that the white play didn't work, and I was very lucky not to throw an interception there. So now 3rd and 10, a very critical moment, down near my own end zone, and boom. Very lucky I was able to use a stick to hit Marcus Lee for a huge 1st down. Otherwise I would have to punt from my own end zone. Now he plays me man again, but I was able to find a little bit of separation to Flurney. A very lucky pass there. And here I scramble with Barkley, and I get the 1st down. And I was holding R1 the whole time because I did not want to take a big hit and fumble, and luckily I didn't. So now I'm finally back to the middle of the field. Barkley drops back to pass. He doesn't see anything, and sacked again. And this is kind of like the story from the 1st game, where I just get sacked over and over, looking for the deep ball. Well, it's not like the intermediate stuff was open. If the intermediate stuff was open, I would definitely throw it, but given his tight man coverage, like here, it's very hard to throw the intermediate stuff. You just have to scramble and hope you don't get sacked, like I do here, and I pick up a 1st down. And this is a new play for me. I go to Robert Woods on the other side on an inside fade, and I was able to get a touchdown. I noticed that his receiver was, his quarterback was playing kind of tight on me to prevent the slant, so I went with the fade route, an outside fade route, and was able to hit Robert Woods very luckily there. And here, I decided to go for a field goal because I noticed that Blackwell was lined up in Marcus Lee's spot. And as you all know, Honey Badger is covering Robert Woods, so there's no way I can go to Robert Woods. And I just didn't feel confident enough to go with the blind slant to Blackwell. So as a result, with the personnel I had to go with the field goal. But luckily I was able to intercept the ball right back. I think my 4th interception of the half already. And here I go with Robert Woods on the slant. And this is one play that my opponent tried really hard to take away, as he would play press coverage on Robert Woods if he feels like I'm going to the slant too often. Like here. He tried to go again. He didn't play press coverage, but I was unable to complete. And now here he plays press coverage, guessing that I'm going to go with the slant, and I saw that coming, so I had to audible to a 4 wide. And this is kind of a thing that goes on for the rest of the game, is that a cat and mouse game between my receivers and his cornerbacks. And probably not the best decision here, but I just didn't have enough confidence with that short intermediate range passing route out of my 4 wide. A huge catch here, man on man, against my DBs, and he was able to basically jump up and get the ball. So now my opponent is in close to the red zone again for the 3rd time this game. And ooh, not sure what happened there, but incomplete. And 15 seconds left. He still has a lot of opportunities to do some real damage, and I almost picked off the ball there. Wow, that was a huge missed opportunity for me. And I think he still has a couple shots at the end zone before the end of the half. And picked off again. This time it's Shelton. Wow, extremely lucky interception there to stop his 3rd red zone incursion of the half. And I get 5 seconds left to try to do something, but no, I got sacked. But I call a timeout with 1 second left, hoping to hit the long ball. And it looks like everybody's covered. Well, the intermediate guy is not covered, but he's not going to do anything, and I think my opponent knows that. And Marcus Lee almost comes up with it, but I don't think he would have made it to the